going on, Low Gang? Welcome back to another absolutely bananas vid. Today is all about Dory's rear end. It's all about her butt. As you know, we've been working on the front end a lot. You can't quite see it, but we got the V-brace, we got the new grills, we got the M-Tech bumper. Dory's face is looking beautiful, but unfortunately, I have neglected to dedicate the same amount of time and energy to her rump. So we got a few cool parts going on the car. Some of this you've seen before on the channel, some of it you haven't. I'll start with the biggest, most obvious thing. This is a subwoofer I got from my buddy Dave. He pulled this out of his E30 because he's building it to be an autocross/track car. And so he didn't need it, and he very graciously donated it to Dory. That includes the Alpine amp, some fuses, most of the wiring that we're gonna need. And we'll talk about this in a bit, but I'm really not like an audio guy in cars, but I do like listening to music. And even though Dory technically has the Harman Kardon package, not to flex, she is lacking quite a bit of bass, and I figure as a basically free mod, we might as well try it out. What's the downside? There's no downside. Okay, the second biggest thing is this M3 rear valence. This is the day of free donated parts for Dory because my friend Sage very kindly donated this to Dory. He used to have this on his E36 rally car and it literally kept getting ripped off. And so he said, hey, do you want it? And I said yes. Now, because it is a genuine M3 part, it's not technically made for the non-M bumpers, and there's some small gaps and modifications we'll need to make, but I think that's well worth it. It'll be kind of a fun DIY project. The last couple things is the badge on the rear of Dory is absolutely atrocious looking. So I got some replacement badges from Amazon. And last but not least, we have the stubby. This I also got from Amazon. It is a tiny, cute, adorable little antenna, and it's made out of solid aluminum. It's a really nice part, actually. I'll leave affiliate links for both of these things down in the description if you're interested, but don't buy anything you don't need. Just only if you need the things, you know, there's affiliate links down there if you need them. I'm stupid. I'm trying to document this process, you know, warts and all. This is too big. I'm just now remembering that I think convertible E36s have a smaller badge because of this third brake light. On non-convertible E36s, the brake light is up there, I think. That's dumb of me. I don't know why I didn't realize that. So I guess we're not doing this one today. Let's keep charging on the other stuff. Okay, so it's kind of on there. The top of it can somewhat effectively slot into the bottom of this non-M bumper. By the way, this was not me. I don't know what the previous owners did to do this. Anyway, it slots in there, but I don't know if you can see this. These mounting holes don't really line up with anything, and they're pressing against the spare tire well. I'm probably just not gonna use those. And over here where you can see there's this gap created, we're gonna link up this hole to this hole and try to create something to close the gap here so that it looks somewhat professional. Now there is some interference here right at the corners that is pressing the whole thing down more than it needs to be. So I'm just gonna file off the corners there, and hopefully that clearance is gonna help. And I'll fabricate up the exact same bracket so that I can attach this hole to this hole and block off this edge in a somewhat pretty way. But overall, I actually really like the way it looks. It's not too aggressive, but it adds some intrigue back here that we didn't have before. Also, hope this goes without saying, I'm always gonna keep the 328i badge. Dory is not an M3. I'm not trying to convince people Dory's an M3. It's just this rear valence looks so much better than that one. Anyway, I'm gonna grab some cardboard and start mocking up those side brackets that we need. Okay, so here is our progress so far. In case you're curious, the plastic that I used was this black plastic garden edging, which initially I got to make a front lip, but it's not the best material for a front lip. So now I have some lying around it and it's like the perfect plastic. So from the template, I made this very, very rough cut. I also scored and bent it there, as well as created this notch up top. And the whole idea behind that, if you'll come down here with me, is that when this notch is on and is bolted through there, this little hook thing can kind of lock in, and that hopefully should keep this top edge from separating out this way. I don't know if it's the most structurally secure thing, but it was the best I could come up with. I think my next step is to clean this one up, possibly figure out a way to plastic weld this or somehow keep it, you know, secure. And then I'll create an identical one, but for the opposite side. It's been a couple hours. I did get everything mounted up, but it's not, the best. As you can see, my buddy Dave is here. Right now he's working on fishing the wiring through so that we can wire up this sub and tee into the remote wire coming off of the Harman Kardon amp that comes in the car. So as you can see, we got the entire back seat ripped out. It was a pain in the rump. Pro tip for any E36 convertible owners, in order to get the back of the seat off, you gotta get the headrests off. And in order to get the headrests off, you need to literally stick a 2x4 under it and then hammer from the bottom. It's not fun, but that's like the only way to do it. Anyway, so now that we got everything off, you can see the amp here, and that's connected actually to the OEM subwoofer right here. Unfortunately, it's not quite powerful enough. So we are gonna tee off of this little white wire there. See that one? That one right there. That is the remote wire, so that'll turn on the amp when you turn the key on. And what we're gonna do is use this adorable little connector. You see that? It's like a little T. This is going to snap onto that white wire and it's going to tap in, and then we're going to run a blue wire out of that. We're going to tuck it through this channel which runs into the trunk, and you can see that Dave fished through this wire, so now we can tape the blue wire to that and fish it all the way back out. And that way we can mount the amp on the right side of the trunk here so it stays out of the way of all of the convertible top stuff, and then we can actually mount the subwoofer itself in the same location, that big thing. So everything's tucked away neatly over here. We'll add some quick disconnects so we can pull the whole thing out if we need to, and hopefully you won't see any wires. By the way, not to flex, but I do have the 6 CD changer. I feel like I should load that up with like 90s pop music or something. Okay, I think next order of business is to fish the blue remote wire through. I've never done anything like this before, so major shout out to Dave. Thank you, Dave. And I guess all there is to it is to do it. So let's do it. There it is. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. Oh my God. Boom. Okay. It's been like maybe what, 20 minutes? So the issue was we weren't getting power because even when the key was on, the radio had not unlocked. Apparently, when you disconnect the battery, it locks the professional radio or the business radio, whatever comes in the E36. And so it would just say code right here, and you had to enter a code before it would unlock and send that signal power all the way back to the back. We were freaking out because I didn't know what the code was, and apparently you only get like 3 tries. And then I decided to look on the side of the head unit, and it had the code right there. Some wonderful human wrote it in Sharpie. Thank you, previous owner, whoever did that. So once we got it unlocked, we got everything wired back up, and we are getting 12 volts when we turn on the key, which is awesome. So now, hopefully, that means it'll work. Okay, key is on, light is on, great sign. Let's play some royalty-free beats made by yours truly. And of course, not all the music is gonna come through, just the bass, hopefully. Oh.
Yeah, it's working.
That's kind of powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm positive this is not coming across on camera, but it's like, you know, it's what a subwoofer should be. It's like sending rumbles through the ground. It's kind of cool. Okay, fellas, it's been a couple days and everything's buttoned up. As you can see, the rear valence hasn't fallen off. Also, if I pop open the trunk here, you can see that I tidied up the wires with some of this protective sheathing. All of the power wires and line wires are all tidied up. And the line-in wires, these, which we just had the phone hooked up to, those are now hooked up to a line-out converter, which is sitting directly behind the seat. That is wired into exactly the same place where we wired in that signal wire. It's like right there. I'll leave a link to the line-out converter that I used. It was like $18, and basically I just spliced it into the harness coming back from the head unit, right next to where I spliced in for the remote wire, and it like worked out weirdly well. Kind of neat. So yeah, everything is working. Subwoofer is literally bumping, like it'll shake the car if I turn it up too high, and it has really added a lot to the driving experience. I know this is a pretty simple rear end makeover, but I think actually it changed the look of Dory and the feeling of driving Dory quite a lot. And I think it goes to show even the little things, all those little touches, the tiny little changes we make on our cars along the way, they kind of add up. And I'm really happy with the way this all turned out. Okay, that's it for today's video. If you liked the video, make sure to like the video. If you really like the video, make sure to subscribe. I make a new video every single week. Thank you so much for spending your time watching this video, and I will see you next time. Peace.